Sheila also here. Okay, so it's 5:04, and we'll adjourn the meeting. And we'll get started here. We've got, in the room here, we've got, oh, let me turn it back on. In the room here, we've got Fred, Jim, and myself. And then, to see all of our lovely faces. And then online, we've got Anthony, Sheila, and Lori. So at this time, we'll seat Lori as a voting member and Anthony as well, and we'll proceed. So the first order of business will be to approve the minutes. So there are no guests in this room, by the way. And are there any changes proposed to the agenda?
No.
Okay, hearing none, we'll just go forward with it then. And so we want to approve the minutes of October, but I see they weren't posted. So what I'm going to do is just kind of look at them and remind you what we said. And then we could approve it later over at the next meeting officially. But basically what we did was we just had, well, you guys can't see this, but basically what we did was we're just going over the driveway issue. We went over that, how we needed more work on the McCulloch driveway, the width and the turnarounds. And that there's this new issue that came up that we might need a cistern there. And so Fred and Tom followed up with that, which you'll hear about. And then the second order of business was just that we're going to be needing to get in new commission applicants this month and next month, because the thing with that is that the applicant has to attend a meeting in person before they can actually apply. So that only leaves them December and January meetings. So we need to get those applications in fairly soon so that in February, the Board of Selectmen can approve them. So keep that in mind when you reach out to people to tell them, and we'll post those dates of those meetings. And that was it. That was our meeting. So
Yeah.
This is Anthony. Just a quick question. If you're a current member and your term is expiring the beginning of 26, you don't have to attend a meeting because you've already been a
you consider attending. Yeah, you were considered to have attended them, but you do need to reapply, Anthony. And make it clear on the application whether you're applying as an alternate or as a regular member.
Okay, and because I know that I responded to the email that you sent, so
I got it.
Those Say again?
I received it, yes.
Yeah. So, and where do I find the application online? The application with.
It is online, but I will forward the link to everybody so that they could forward it to their friends and relatives, and whatever. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. All right. Very good. So that's. Let me get back to us here. Okay. So we'll just wait for Mark to call in.
I'm in.
Oh, actually, yeah, I see you are on. Yep. Okay. I see you, Mark. Okay, so our first, I don't know if most of the members will recall that Mark Dybel had come to us maybe over a year ago now, just as an information pass to give us a sense of what the Hatchett's Hill project might be involved with, and the troubles they were having with sewers and septic and all that kind of stuff. And he's moved the project quite far along now, and he's just here now for an information pass. There's no decisions, no motions to be made, nothing like that. But it's good information for us to have and see if we can help this project along, which will, as you'll see, provide some affordable housing, a significant doubling of the affordable housing in Old Lyme. So Mark, I'll hand it over to you.
I have no sophisticated agenda other than I just want to inform people about what's going on. And it's not an easy business, as I've said before. Thank God I'm not a developer. I just happen to own the land, But anyway, the partners that we had last year under contract were significant developers, but they backed out on a couple different deals because of interest rates being high, and they didn't feasibility was not working in their direction, so we just basically ended it. So it's currently being marketed by Cushman Wakefield, their commercial multifamily division. It's getting quite a bit of positive reaction, with the exception of nobody really in that business likes affordable housing, having to do it. So we've kind of told them that, and this is what I'm trying to, what I would probably get your position on, is that 8-30G is the way if they want to do. We've laid it out. They can do whatever they want. If they want to do something else or whatever, they can do their own zoning. But 230 units is what we're trying to do. That includes 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and a few 3 bedrooms units that we did in prior work with the architects previously, that is a realistic possibility with the layout, that it's, and with the septic system that we've done, perk tests, all the rest of it, that it can accommodate that much. It's like the front portion, that front portion of the one lot is where most of the buildings will be, where the rear part of the 38 acres is where most of the septic system has an area that's particularly good. So it's kind of a unicorn property in that we're not on an aquifer, but we're near an aquifer, and we've got a 50-gallon-a-minute well and a 30-gallon-a-minute well. And so it's potable water. We don't have a water problem. We're going to have to get together with Connecticut Water Company at some point, because they have the franchise exclusively. And then obviously on the septic side, where I again try to tell people it's a blessing in disguise, because we had wanted to. We're only 100 meters away from the hookup in East Lyme, as you might recall. With there's a 60-foot right of way that could go and do that, but we are not welcome in the East Lyme septic or sewer system. So while it would be still an expensive proposition to do septic, it's a capital expenditure. You're basically doing it one time, where if you had a sewer, you're going to have an ongoing billing process by the sewer to be out of New London. So that's a whole other thing. So we're trying to work people that are interested. I don't have it right in front of you, but I have it's a beautiful sales brochure for the people that did the work within Cushman Wakefield. So they have beautiful photography, and what about Old Lyme's about, and the rest of it, and how they are definitely pushing the 8-30G. And I obviously it would yield 69 total units. As to how many bedrooms they would be, I don't know, but it'd be 69 total units that would be affordable. I don't know if everybody's familiar with the 15% of them having to be 60% of the median income, and 15% have to be 80% of the median income maximum. And that's part of my next question is that what number do we come up with? Because the average household income in Old Lyme is quite high. It's at $202,000, where the median income we have as of 2024 at $155,000. So those numbers are quite large. That we're trying to like it or not, Old Lyme is an affluent town, and that's where some of the rent rolls. And I don't know if obviously everybody's aware of that Electric Boat recently purchased the rest of the Crystal Mall, with the exception of the Sears store. And if you saw the press release, they're hiring and/or relocating 4,000 to 5,000 employees into that location. It's going to become a campus for Electric Boat, for their engineers, administration, some R&D things, nothing having to do with, building the sub. It's just strictly administration and office and professionals. But obviously 4,000 to 5,000 people 9 minutes away from exit 71 is a lot. That's so there's going to be a huge demand for where all these people are going to live, because the other people that they're replacing that have retired, they're not leaving. So it's kind of coming up, and it's not just Old Lyme residents. It's going to be Southeast Connecticut is going to be, a lack of housing that's already going to exist will be even greater. So just to let you know what's kind of going on in the marketplace with that. So I don't know if you have information where you have seen the median income, if that number is correct, if it's a little bit lower. I doubt if it's higher, but that's what we have come up with. And that's what, if we go through the 8-30G, it can't be fungible. It's gone up quite a bit from 2020 census, because that was obviously during COVID, and people have gone back to work in full force in 2024. So that's why that number has jumped up from, I think, $122,000 to the 155. So evidently people had deferred income or whatever it is, but that's the reporting number that we're coming up with at this time. So I don't know.
Yes. So what I sent you, Mark, was just the 830G appeals list, which gives you the number of units that we have. But what I can send you is the AMI figures for Old Lyme, but we don't. It's not an AMI figure for Old Lyme. It's an AMI figure for New London County. That's how the HUD does it. So you don't need to worry about Old Lyme's income. It's at the AMI for New London County, which is in the 99,000 range.
Yeah, but see, this is where I get pushback, is that AMI for New London County, it's not a HUD thing. It's a state of Connecticut thing. So this is the 8-30G is strictly a law that's in the state of Connecticut. That's not a HUD related number. So that's why I want to use different numbers than that, because quite frankly, it becomes not feasible and it won't ever get built. I'll just lay it on the table for you just like that. It will never get built at night if it's 99,000.
Well, I'm going to tell you that the state mandate is because of the HUD mandate. So it is a HUD directive. So it is 99-ish thousand. I can get you the number exactly, but for a family of 4. So that's for a family of 4. So that's
we're not looking to give apartments or to sell rent apartments primarily to a family of 4. That's not...
So there's different tables for that, Mark. I can talk to you offline about that and send you the right information, because there are Connecticut state tables every year that come out, which usually are in April, that dictate if it's a single person, two person, 3 person, 4 person, or 4+ people rentals versus ownership. And so, yeah, there's a whole table that comes out about that every year. And so if that works in your favor as far as marketing the property, that would be great.
Well, that's not good news, because it's not going to get built if it's 99,000.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you next week about it then.
That's a money losing portion. That's not.
Yeah, I mean, we don't decide the AMI. I'm sure we're aware. We don't decide the AMI here.
Yeah.
It's not decided by town. It's not really up for discussion. It's an established figure that has to be used, has to be referenced.
Okay.
What do you think in the ranges if it's not 99 and possibly cannot ever be 155? Like, what are you thinking?
I've seen it though. I'll supply the numbers to you for 2024. Jumped quite a bit. It was at 120. Multiple sources had it at $122,000 123, it's in between that, in 2023. In 2024, it had jumped up to 155. So I don't know if this 99 thing that you're coming up with, is that a recent number or is that something that's older? I don't know.
It's been about that for the last couple of years, but Mark, remember this is New London County, which encompasses New London. So, you know, that is a serious demographic that draws the county down towards the lower AMI range. Very high population.
That's
Yeah,
why
it's most certainly, I'm looking
yeah,
at
it's a little confusing, frankly, to me on some of this. It's that the information really isn't that available and simple. It's kind of like we're both kind of in the dark a little bit on this stuff. But anyways, I'll just end it with that.
I'm not shooting in the dark. So if you want to call me next week, I will definitely give you and I'll send you some information tomorrow with tables and such, which are the latest published Department of Housing State of Connecticut tables that will outline the rental incomes, minimums and maximums for people earning such incomes.
Okay, and then the other term that we can go over with is indistinguishable. You know, that's because I don't know if these people want to make them exactly all the same or that they're just going to go with the indistinguishable, because it's a very fine line between it making sense and being going forward. I mean, it's as simple as that. I'm just trying to, you know, I'd like to get these things built properly, looking great. They're certainly needed in the area, and it's
right.
It's not an easy thing.
No. Understood.
So anyway.
We would appreciate, I mean, and we appreciate all your efforts, but by law, actually, they actually do have to be indistinguishable. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I have, but thank you.
Okay. And so that's great, Mark. And so Cushman Wakefield is managing the sale of the property?
Correct.
Okay. Great.
I mean, obviously, if I get offers that are within the range that I want to accept them, yeah. This time I'm hoping to either be a partner or they can buy it outright from me. So we'll see. Okay. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. And as I recall, that included the septic field, the parking area, and the units themselves, and a central office facility.
Yeah, well, again, they can do whatever they want when they buy it, but it's currently designed with a total of 4 buildings and a series of townhomes, townhouses, and that would be that mix. But again, it's to the buyer, what would they, what mix? Everybody has their own version of wanting to do whatever they want to do. We had done the exercise that 230 units could be possible,
right.
Still look good, not be overwhelming on that site location.
Does the current site plan, does it enter from Hatchett's Hill, the road enter from Hatchett's Hill or 4 Mile? Yeah,
exclusively on Hatchett's Hill. There's no left turn out of it to go through the back way. It's strictly a one, turn in and turn right to the highway. It's strictly that way, because we've had people that were concerned about that before, and no, there's no reason to go through the back way of town. It's strictly people are going to get on the 95 one way or the other. It's closer to get to Stop and Shop in Flanders than it is to get to the Big Y. Yeah. So
does the road in the current site plan, does the road extend off of the multifamily parcel into the RU 40 or 80 parcel, or is that reserved for septic?
I'd have to show it to you, but it's like a high point is where the last building is, and then it kind of goes down a hill. The topography is difficult, to say the least.
Very difficult.
That's where, yeah, and it's not, as we say, there's not too many cornfields left to be able to put something on that's easy. But yeah, it goes. It's almost like a football field of where it is. The designated larger variety of where the septic will go. And then some of the other locations have already been proven out like 25 years ago. So there's multiple and plenty available septic on it, on the land. So, but that's all coming down the pike and with all the drawings and everything that goes with it. But we've got a lot more information for them, for people that are interested, and we'll release that individually when they get closer to interest. So, but I just wanted to say that I want, obviously, we want to get this thing built. We want to get 69 units that are, look great and everything else. There's plenty of need in town, and there's plenty of people that have, asked me, hey, is this thing ever going to get built? And I'd like to have me or a friend or a this or that or whatever. They know somebody that could like to be in that, and I'd like to be able to say yes. And right now I can't, because we don't know.
Mark, what's the status as far as zoning and planning goes? Has the overall concept been approved, or what's?
No, we have. The only thing we did last year was that we went before the planning commission, and we couldn't get a boundary with the Alta survey. That we completed that, and we actually gave a little bit of land to the town because it was, believe it or not, beavers had dammed it all up, and we couldn't get an accurate property line. So we basically gave that portion, it's like an acre or something like that, to the town, like a permanent conservancy kind of thing. So that's one thing that we did, and we were on that track to do it, but my partners didn't have the resources that they wanted to commit to it. So I just kind of like, okay, that's time to go. And that's when we parted ways. So, but I hope that we can get this thing done this time, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
It's not an easy business, I'll tell you that.
Not here or in most parts.
I like making hoses. I'm really good at that for 34 years. So I'm really good at that.
Can somebody please remind me what property specifically we're talking about?
It's all back in there. Yeah, I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah, Sheila, it's just off of, if you go off of 4 Mile River left on Hatchetts, or right on Hatchetts, either one, up Hatchetts, and then it'll be on the left.
Okay.
It's right behind the office building that's on the corner of 4 Mile River Road and Hatchetts Hill. It's behind that. It goes up behind that, and it's 38 acres.
38 acres. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So not the not the highway exit side of Hatchetts Hill, the other end.
If you come off exit 71 and look straight ahead, you're kind of looking straight at it.
Yeah, there's houses on 4 Mile River Road and then they're behind that.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
And it goes quite a ways down there because it's long.
Okay, 4 Mile River. Gotcha. Yeah. I was thinking the other. Okay. I was thinking
so it's perfect for Old Lyme in that we're kind of on the border. We're kind of it's a from a standpoint of it's zone multifamily. We're not changing any zoning. It's zone multifamily, and it's designed for that. It's perfect for that. And but it's going to be expensive site work. We know that. So it's just that a lot of these other things that they're expensive portions to get it built, and then obviously some of the other stuff we need to be, you're not losing money on stuff. So anyway, it is what it is. I appreciate it. I just wanted to keep you up to date because I'm trying to get this thing going, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, we appreciate it. Yeah. Any questions from other members of the commission?
This is Anthony. I have a question. I know that the FY 2025 income limits have been published, and they differ from 24. They introduced this concept of what's called an exception area. So Old Lyme Old Lyme town is considered an exception area, and there's adjustments that seems to be made to the income limits with families 1 through 8. And I don't know a lot about it. I didn't know. It seems this is something brand new and something that was introduced by an old Appropriations Act. And I think it has to deal with high areas where there's high housing or incomes. And Old Lyme, of course, is a high income area. So I don't know anything about it, but it's something that I don't know if anyone else has seen the same data that I have and questioned it or done any research, which I haven't done the research, but is anyone else aware of this, the 2025 income limits and the reference to Old Lyme being an exception area?
I'm not, Anthony, but I could check with Dominic tomorrow up at DOH and say, that's a great, thank you for bringing that up.
I appreciate
I
that. I hadn't heard of it, but I'll look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like for a family of 4, the low income on this chart is $99,750 for a family of 4, and that's 80% of income limits. But again, I've never seen this before for Old Lyme. I looked at. I don't think this was in 24 either. It just seems to have been put on in 25, and it may be something that was introduced with the new administration. That's just total speculation. I don't know. But I think we should look at it, or the owner of the land and property or the developer should look at it too. So to find out what this is. I'm not saying it applies. It doesn't apply. I don't know. It's just, I've never seen this before.
Okay, great info, Anthony. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Mark, I'll talk to DOH tomorrow and get you maybe an updated version of that. So see if that helps you out.
Great. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries. Well, thank you for the presentation,
right.
and we wish you best of luck.
Me too.
I know you've been working on it so hard for so many years.
Yeah.
So we'll see what pans out. But sounds like a great project.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks.
All right, good. You should take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, Mark. Okay. Now switch glasses here. All right. So so that was the new business. Anybody else have any comments on that, or anything that you think we should follow up on from that discussion with others? Nope. Okay. Hearing none. We'll go on to any other, while we're on new business, we might as well stick with that. Any other new business? No? Okay, I've just got a couple of updates on just recent meetings. Last week there was a meeting with the Regional Housing Committee for Rivercog, and they did a presentation by the, if I get this right, the Connecticut Affordable Housing Committee, which is it's not a Connecticut state thing, it's a nonprofit thing. And they're having a conference November 17th and 18th. A lot of it is virtual, or most of it is virtual. It looks like it's free to sign up. It says on the link, it says $0 to $50. So I don't know what that means. I think $50 is probably if you're in person, 0 if it's virtual. Although it's a 2-day thing, you can sign up for different, 1-hour sessions, if you will. And so there are a number of different things in there around funding sources, and also around what other people have done, like kind of like a roundtable thing on, here's our success, here's our failure kind of things. So it looked very interesting. I'll send that link out to everybody. I think it's open to anybody that wants to sign up, because I registered with 0 problems, and I'm not a member of this Connecticut Affordable Housing Conference. So it might be interesting if you have nothing to do before Thanksgiving. You can spend some time browsing that. There's also the second thing on around Connecticut housing groups on CT 169 Strong, CT 169 Strong. .org. They are circulating now a petition to try to get Governor Lamont to think about this new bill, the new revised HB 5002, which Lamont had vetoed before. As Sean updated us a month ago, that it's now in talks where Rojas there are only Democrats involved, which whatever, but they're not soliciting any opinions from the towns at all. So it's just the senators doing this themselves. And basically what they're doing, according to Sean, he thinks is like redlining just what was in the bill that Lamont didn't like and just taking that part out. Most of the towns, every single town, 169 of the 169 towns in Connecticut objected to this bill as is. Thankfully, Governor Lamont vetoed it because both sides of the House and Congress, they actually approved it. So anyhow, most of it was to do with the fair share apportionment, of which you recall Old Lyme would be responsible for 422 new affordable housing units within 5 years. So that was physically impossible.
Is that what it came out to?
422 affordable units, which would mean under 830G would be 1,500 units. So anyhow, all 169 towns petitioned against it back then, but now there are individual petitions you can sign on their website if you personally object to the way that they're doing it with no transparency. We don't know what's in the bill. As you recall, earlier this year, they dropped it on Memorial Day weekend. And they dropped it on the Sunday Memorial Day weekend, and it was 97 pages, and nobody had a chance to read it. And then they voted on it on Tuesday morning. So, yeah. So anyhow, if you get a chance, you might want to just peruse that website as well and make your own judgment. I don't care what you do, but ct169strong.org. The other website, I will send it out to you. It's the Connecticut Affordable Housing Conference. And, they are affiliated very closely with the desegregatect.org, which is what they call pro-housing. I don't know anybody that's anti-housing, but they call themselves the Pro-Housing Commission, and that's the Yale-funded people. And so they are pushing for the fair share. That's the people that created the Fair Share Act, the organization, not the people, the organization that created the fair share quotas for each town. So anyhow, they also have a website called desegregatect.org. So if you would like to go to both of those websites, it would be good to get up to speed on all of those things as these things heat up. The second thing on Regional Housing Committee for Rivercog is we talked about in October just a tad, but was the LISC, which now I forget what it stands for, but it's LISC is a LISC is a national organization that provides funding for affordable housing through loans, grants, and other means of connecting people with either, like in our case, CHFA, Connecticut Housing Authority, Finance Authority, or other organizations that provide financing for these types of investments for people. So where, let's say, Mark is having trouble finding somebody that says, oh, if it's $99,000 AMI, I'm not going to do it, but if it's $155,000, I'll do it. LISC could come in there and find a partner for them to subsidize or grant or loan, money at a reasonable rate or a lower rate to get those 69 units funded. So I also connected him with that organization. So there's lots of funding things out there. It's just trying to be more creative other than just trying to apply for a grant. So that's there are definitely organizations out there that are funded by higher authorities like Soros or Gates and all these other people that have money that are willing to lend it at very low rates to get these things through. So having said all that, I'll send you out the links to those things. But if you have availability the 17th or 18th, just keep that in mind on this one conference. And I think that's all I had on new business. All right, any questions on that? Okay, let's move on to old business and let's get a project update on the driveway.
So Tom Metcalf and I met with Mike McCarthy, who's the fire chief. He's the statute said he has to pass on our on the driveway issues with respect to the access for emergency vehicles, and he basically said that a 15-foot wide driveway, which is what is there now, was fine, and a turnaround was fine, and that no cistern would be needed. And he said he'd be happy to write a letter to that effect. And Tom Metcalf said that he would. I thought what he was saying is, I'll send you a letter, the form of which basically you can review and put on your letterhead and sign. What he sent to the fire chief was a lot of information, and it wasn't in the form of a letter that he could review and sign.
It's an engineer letter.
It was an engineer letter, and it was a little hard to understand.
Yeah.
So I thought he was, what I had thought he would do, and it was basically a letter, we approve what you suggested, and I thought he was going to attach a survey with the house, the well location, the septic location, the driveway location, and the turnaround easement, all of which, the attorney could use to draft any easement documents, and agreement, just all laid out there. But he did, that hasn't happened, and I've tried at least 3 or 4 times to get in touch with Tom, and none of which really have succeeded. I don't know what else he's doing, or he was on vacation, or he was away for a while.
He was away for that week, yeah.
And now he's back, and
Do you know him, Jim?
I do not.
No, okay.
he's been here a long time. He's been with the project for years and years, and he does a good job, but
Yeah.
there's some dynamic I don't understand, and I don't, I don't want
Mhm.
to piss him off, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
just encourage him.
Do you think I should call him? Or Jim? Put some muscle on it?
Why don't, yeah, so,
I'll do it.
'cause there is a time frame.
That's what I
involved,
mean.
and,
We need to have it. We do have a time frame involved. It's
And,
catching up to us pretty quick.
So, yeah, if you wouldn't
Yeah,
mind, just.
Oh,
Sure,
I'll call
I'd be happy to also.
yeah,
I just don't want to make it, I don't want to sully that.
Well, he knows,
Yeah.
he will know who
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are, and
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give him a call and then just see, but, let's clarify the timeline then. So we've already missed our October and November, for zoning. So what are we thinking now with, it's gotta be.
I have no
January.
idea. I mean, he
Cannot
has,
possibly be December.
I mean, I
so,
think he needs,
Yeah.
and Dick,
Yeah,
need to produce a survey with, all that on it.
Yeah.
And,
all right.
I mean, and, I think when I was with, the fire marshal, one of the things,
Rebecca.
they're gonna wanna know who's gonna maintain the driveway.
Mm-hmm,
And it would be nice to have Habitat and
mm-hmm,
Hope
mm-hmm.
say what the deal is.
Yeah.
I don't see any downside to them doing it. It's not gonna be legally binding.
Yeah,
They can put all kinds of
Okay.
exculpatory language in there.
okay.
And that would be, because if the planning is, what's the deal? You could say, well, here's the deal.
Yeah, so if you guys recall back in September, I think this was, that we spoke with Carla Lundquist at Habitat, the ED Executive Director, at Hope, and Sarah Loeffler, the Executive Director of Habitat. We're all on the phone together. They were, kumbaya, everybody was on the same page. But what they want, and they
But
are.
at that point, they said, oh yeah, we're gonna
meet.
draft
So
something
they,
up.
yeah, so they met offline to do an MOU that Hope is going to transfer the 2 existing properties to Habitat. And so Habitat will own all 4 properties now. And then that would only be Habitat that's responsible for the driveway to make it easier.
Yeah.
But subsequently, they don't want to do that memorandum of understanding until they get the site set up. So Habitat's not just ending up with 2 houses and we bulk on the McCulloch properties, so the town bulks on the properties.
I would put it to Habitat and say, we need you to commit to maintaining this as part of our
Package.
agreement.
Yeah. Okay,
we
I
can't
could
move
talk to
forward
Sarah.
unless you agree to maintain this driveway. We're also donating the land to you,
Yeah,
so,
And,
you know.
I don't know exactly how it works. I mean, shared driveways are, there's a statute about it, but they're adding on to an existing
yeah,
driveway. And
I don't think it's out of line to ask them to maintain a driveway that's gonna become theirs anyway.
yeah, but they can say, to the extent it is conveyed to us, this does not
Right,
bind
right.
us. I mean,
Right.
this is effect only when we
Yes.
take ownership. I mean, they could do that high and low, but,
Okay.
Yeah, that's more than,
okay. And we already had previously gotten approval that gravel was fine, right, for that?
Yeah.
Or preferred, actually, even, they said, I think was the wording. Okay. All right, I'll call Sarah tomorrow.
yeah, I would say if they're
and-
not willing to do that, we have a
we have a
I'm not sure
problem.
what we're willing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they were not unwilling.
Yeah.
They just, it was between Hope and Habitat for like what that was gonna look like. So, okay. Any questions on that from the Zoom callers?
Yeah, I'm just, I was trying to jot some things down as I continue to learn and wrap my brain around the different things that are involved with all that we're trying to do. You had said, Fred, that you met with, it was an engineer that said that they would be willing to put in writing that a cistern is not needed at that property?
That was the fire chief.
Oh, okay.
Mike McCarthy, and he was,
Okay.
it's two houses. He asked that we put in a limitation about the square footage, and the head of Habitat said, not a problem. It just, the fire chief was concerned that he didn't put some McMansions up there, which would increase the need for water. But as long as they're small houses, he said, I don't have a problem, and Habitat has no problem. They don't intend to build big houses, so. But so at this point, we're trying to do everything we need to do to go to planning and zoning, and part of that is a letter from the fire chief and the subdivision application, and a survey. And with that, I think we're ready to go before planning and zoning, but it's taking a little bit to get what we need.
Okay.
And so from the engineers, what we're waiting on, Sheila, is that sort of summary of findings, if you will, and the survey.
Yeah.
And once we get those two things from him, that then McCarthy can look at and say, yep, that looks good. And then we get maybe a letter from the board of directors or Sarah Luffler from Habitat that says, to the extent this property is conveyed to us, we will maintain this driveway at 15 feet, blah, blah, blah. Then I think those would be the two pieces that we're missing. Well, two, it's more like 10, but in two sections.
Yeah.
And how much time do we need to get on the agenda for planning?
Oh, they're pretty flexible, but it would really be zoning. We only have to go to one.
Right.
We only really have to go to
Oh,
zoning.
okay, so it's zoning.
Yeah, we
Okay.
did discover that in the meantime, that, we only have to do one.
But,
application.
I think they have one meeting a month, so, and you have to, I think you have to
to
file notice to
publicize
the
it.
abutters, so there's certain, it's not like you just file it, so.
Yeah,
You have to get on the agenda, right? There's a certain number of days that
Yeah.
we
know
need to be.
people. We know people.
that's off the record. Can't say that.
so is there anything that,
Yeah.
is there anything any of us can do, like, once we have that information, is there anything that assistance is needed on, and making sure that we meet all those requirements, we get our requests for the to be on the agenda in a certain number of days, and to get it, I know there's it's got to be publicized in certain ways or in certain places. Is there anything that
Yes.
we can do to help with that?
That goes back to my next question, which is the applicant are we the applicants still? Who is the
town of
applicant?
Old Lyme.
Town of Old Lyme.
Okay.
Yeah.
And will one of these two engineers, are they going to appear at the meeting or?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully both of them would.
Okay.
Tom Metcalf has offered, and I think we'll do a good job in actually filling out the subdivision application. And
And
then,
the attorney, Mike Carey, he generally kind of just peripherally reviews these
Right.
things as well.
and then there's the zoning department here in Town Hall. They're good at directing, there are certain notices that need to be filed in I think it's the New London Day, and I think they take care of that. And then the last
They
time
do, yeah.
I had to file notice to the abutters, so that was,
Okay.
there's like 11 abutters, and just have to,
And 3 were returned, unknown address.
yeah, and so we had
Unknown.
to, that's a little bit of writing names on little cards, but I can handle
Well, we
that.
have the list now, so, yeah.
All right. Well, happy to
So-
help with that when that time comes.
Okay, thanks, Sheila. We
Sure.
appreciate that. So, should we just, when I talk to him tomorrow, hopefully, should we just say we gotta do this in January? That's it? And then should I-
Yeah, I would say, what's preventing us from,
Yeah.
is there anything we
Yeah,
can
what's
do?
preventing us from
Is
this?
there,
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you're-
Yeah.
I'll just find the date and say January 12th.
Yeah.
Need to be on the agenda. Is it
Because-
what's preventing us?
Yeah, so September 26th is, the year 2026 is the year, that these properties need to be given.
Yes.
Set aside as affordable housing. And so, it seemed like a long time ago, a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
but now it's very short time,
Well,
so.
and plus, we need to spend the
ARPA funds.
DARPA funds,
Yes.
and that will involve sending out a RFP, right?
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
and then the work actually
Has to happen.
has to happen.
Or has to start, yeah.
So-
Yeah.
September or December?
ARPA's December, but the McCulloch agreement is September. But because the town has already
Yeah.
assigned it
Yep.
as affordable, and the lawyers have all signed off on that transition with the memorandum of understanding to Habitat, that seems like it's a solid deal, so it's already done. So that September deadline may not mean anything anymore. But the ARPA funds, definitely, is another target date to keep in mind. But that'll happen because that goes very quickly, as you know, so
Yeah.
once the work
Like,
starts.
for instance, this is a question, maybe not. Actually, it is for this group. The cost of Tom and Dick comes out of those funds specifically?
No,
No, that's right out of our
That's out of
budget.
town budget.
that right
designated
now,
for the
yeah.
AHC. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, for right now, that's out of the budget. The site work,
Mm.
this is like bug flying around here. The site work.
Specific to that site.
Specifically is, out of the ARPA funds. And it could be the other site as well, McKimmick if we, Kimmick if we ever, I'm calling it Kimmick if we ever get over there.
Okay.
So yeah, Kimmick and Grandview could also come out of the ARPA funds. So the site preparation work and all of that too, whatever we can do to help defray
them
some of the
started,
costs and
yeah.
get them started, on it.
Okay.
Yep. So that could all be used out of the ARPA funds.
The road also.
Mm-hmm,
I was like,
Yep.
sending the road
Mhm.
first and foremost. Okay.
yep, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, good. All right, good update. So I will call Sarah, see if we can get her to get the board to send us something. To the extent of we get the property, we will maintain this driveway. And then for Tom Metcalf, I'll just give him a buzz and see what timeframe we're thinking we can nail down around January, if not sooner. Okay. Okay, just taking notes, sorry. Okay. Let's see, McCulloch. Good. The other thing we wanted to discuss, if there's nothing else on that, is just the chair, co-chair situation. So we used to have, for those of you that were here before, we had a chair in Michael, vice chair, which was myself, and Michael basically did everything. And then I filled in for him when he was on vacation. We went to the co-chair model during the last year because he was rolling off and he knew he was rolling off, and then I was moving to North Carolina, and so similar in that process, but he didn't know when I was moving and I didn't know when I was moving, so it was kind of iffy. So we went with the co-chair model so we wouldn't have to have a midterm, election or whatever. So Fred and I have been working together as co-chairs, and as we've talked about before, Fred's handling a lot of the project and most of the project stuff, and I'm handling a lot of the administrative stuff. So I don't know what everybody thinks about the different models, but when we go to February 1st of next year, when we have new people onboarded and I roll off, we're going to need to have either this model right now or a different, or back to the old model, chair, vice chair. I personally, think that the old model is better only because I'm a military person and I like a single point of accountability. But but it's worked out great between Fred and I because we have established, roles. And so, you could also do that with the chair, vice chair role. It doesn't matter. But so just eager to get people's thoughts on that, so that when we get new applicants in, and Fred and I are thinking about who to recommend for approval to the Board of Selectmen in January, that we could, get that straightened out. So, give me your thoughts on that.
This is Anthony. I have a question. Can you hear me, Jen?
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's just a clarification. When I had my last 2-year term renewed, and I think it wasn't just me, I think it was everybody, because we had been in service and had previously made applications and they were reviewed, we did not have to make an application. So I was wondering what changed that everybody had to put in new applications. That's a change from the past. So I was just wondering what caused it, or is it?
No, you should have had to put in an application, but if you didn't.
For renewal?
Yeah, for renewal. Yeah. You should have had to, because it's totally up to the Board of Selectmen each period to determine who is on their commissions going forward. So let's just say you're a complete, mess up or whatever, and you can't just continue your term. You have to renew your term. You have to reapply for your term.
Oh, okay. That's what I did last time. So, and there's 3 of us whose terms expire this year. We all have to send in applications, and then anyone from the public who wants to get on has to send in an application.
That's correct. Yeah, it's a competitive bid, if you will. So each year, each term, rather.
All right, very good. I appreciate that clarification. Thank you.
No worries.
It didn't happen 2 years ago, and if that's what we have to do, no problem.
It's interesting. I had to do it.
Well, that's fine. I've done it before, so it's easy for me to do. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks, Anthony. And congratulations on your retirement, I hear.
No, that's not quite true. It's like, someone thought no, I'm actually still, you're right. I did write you. I'm transitioning. So I, reduced my work schedule. Let's say I'm working still 35 hours or 40 hours a week, but because of state law, I can only be paid for 19.9 hours. So it's a kind of an interesting thing, and I'm trying to transition the organization and then offer my services in a limited way as a contracting officer for large modernization projects that we do. But so I'm still going to the office, but fewer days, and the rest of it's remote. But thank you very much, because it's kind of like semi-retired. So that's good.
Silent
I
then.
appreciate that. Thank you for your acknowledgement.
Sounds like you're working overtime, not summer time.
All right. Okay, well, any thoughts on the chair, vice chair versus co-chair model?
This is Anthony. I like the co-chair. I mean, it divides the labor, and people can have specialty. Like you're good administration, and Fred might be different in doing oversight, dealing with regulations and city officials. So I think it kind of separates the responsibilities and it balances the workload better. That's my thought. So I think it's working pretty good as it is right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Go ahead, Ken.
It's terrible. No, I mean, I think I'm very flexible and, I'd like to hear from anyone about, participating.
Yeah.
I think some of our new members are enthusiastic and have a lot of experience, and I'd like to get them involved and take from each what they're good at, and what they're interested in. So, if anyone has any thoughts, let me know.
Yeah, I can't really speak. I mean, the co-model seems to work fine, and also to Jen's point, I think you could also have a chair and a vice chair and divide up those duties. I came on to the committee, and I'm sure that this is going to be the case at some point, but I came on under the impression that there was much to do. And so I'm not suggesting that there isn't much to do, and that was wrong. It seems to me like, just given where everything stands right now, there's a lot of on holdness. What I would like to see going forward, regardless of the model or who's holding those roles, is just divvying up the work, because I would imagine as some of these projects actually do start to move forward, there are things along the way that we would have to really be on top of. And so, I'm open to any role that I take on a committee. I just want to ensure that I can do it justice, because I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver when I have all the boxes falling on top of my head from the closet that I've chosen not to look into for the last 2 months, and then everything happens in one night. But the model doesn't matter to me. I think it's how the work is divided.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Right?
Yeah.
I think once there is more work, you're absolutely right. That will become more important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the most important thing with town hall and these other commissions is not necessarily the people we hire like Tom and Dick, but the interactions with zoning and the interactions with Anita in finance, so the interactions with Katie. I think there does need to be more of a single point of contact with them, because they do get inundated by every single commission and board, and then if there's multiple people, like Fred and I have already confused Katie and the IT guy and about different things. And so there can only be one owner of the IT mailbox, so that's a thing. We tried to have two, but there could only be one. And so there's only one key card, so only one of us can have it. So there's different things like that there does need to be a single point of accountability with. Otherwise, we drive town hall mad, for no reason. Yeah. So on that side, one of those people will have to be assigned that thing, and so, or split that up as Fred and I have. Fred manages kind of town hall, I do the IT mailbox, and that's it. So, so that's how we've managed it. But, going forward, whoever the chair, vice chair, or co-chairs are, will need to just make sure those are clear delineations, so we're not sending 5 people to town hall to ask for our mail or pay a bill.
Even questions.
We're questioning Katie. Katie is just like, she's amazing, and but she gets pummeled. Like, I can just imagine the amount of questions Fred and I give her that every other commission gives her. Yeah, so,
Board,
yeah, so.
By the way, I checked our mailbox and there was
There's
nothing in
nothing,
it.
really, okay, yeah, funny.
Was that your role, Fred?
I sent him to the mailbox. No, but so the other thing is the budget, right? So when the finance board commission is going to put together the budget, they start in January, basically. In February, it has to be done in April. It's got to be approved by the board of selectmen and the town, and all that. So all that needs to be submitted and everything, but then those bills need to be paid and everybody needs to keep up with them. And one of us has to approve them. So in Fred and I's case, either of us can approve them right now. So it makes it handy if I'm out of town or Fred's out of town, and that kind of thing, so we can approve them. Otherwise, Martha has to approve them, and she doesn't like to do that.
No.
So.
Sure.
Because then we get emails in the email box that I hardly ever check. So anyhow, it's a long story, but there's just a lot of behind the scenes things that need to be done, that aren't just the agendas and the minutes. And
Sure, sure.
So, but yeah, so Sheila, to your point, as long as the roles are clear, either model will work.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is we'll leave it to Fred as the next chair to figure that out. And once we get some new people on board, everybody can make a decision around that. So that'll be good. All right. So thanks. So Lori, did you have any feedback? No? Okay. You're on mute, but that's okay. All right. Okay, good. So that's all. Everybody's online, right? Yep. Okay. Jim, anything else on that? Nope. Okay. All right. Well, I don't have any further agenda items. Does anybody else have anything else that they wish to discuss?
Nothing here.
No? Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn. This is Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony.
Second.
Sheila, second?
Yep.
Great. Okay, 6:06, we're adjourned. That was longer than I thought it was going to be, but it's awesome meeting. Thanks. Nice talking to everybody, and have a happy Thanksgiving. And,
Happy Thanksgiving.
see you in December.